All right, so good afternoon, everyone. My name is Kendra, and I'm one of the marketers for OVC. And today we're going to be touching base on our J1 Hospitality Internship in America. Okay, so welcome to all our future interns and trainees today. Just to overview for you guys about who we are. So OVC is formerly known as the largest international gap year company, currently operating throughout South Africa and remotely in Namibia. We are represented through 15 branches here in SA, and like I did say, we operate remotely for our Namibian candidates. In case any of you are scared that we're going to human traffic you or we're going to scam you, I promise we won't do that. So we have been operating for 75 years. So we do know what we're doing. If any of you do want to see our company profile, it's got the backstory about when we were founded, how we were founded, who founded us. Just go to your OVC consultant and we will be able to provide you with all of that. Moving on to our program manager. So this is our program manager. Her name is Robin. If any of you are based in Mpumalanga, Limpopo, Northwest, Namibia, you guys will be dealing with Robin directly, okay? She does run the American Internship Program. So each and every single application that comes in for the American Internship, Robin does view them and Robin does accept them and just sees everyone that's going overseas, okay? So that's just a little quick intro about our program manager. When it comes to our American internship, we have placements majority through every single state across the United States. So if you want to work in a specific state, you are more than welcome to come to your OVC consultant and ask if there are positions in that specific state you want to go to. We'll just go back and check the positions list for you, okay? So this is one of the internships where you can kind of ask to go to a specific state. However, please just do bear in mind, we are going to need to go and check with our partners to see if they do have placements available in those specific states that you are looking to do. Okay. So this could be you, a nice part or a nice feature regarding my presentation today. Every single person you see in the presentation today are currently our clients, some of our past clients. So they can do it, you guys can do it too. Okay. So let's touch base on what you need to qualify for the internship today. So you must be between the ages of 19 to 30. If any of you are 18 years old and you're currently studying, you still qualify, okay? If some of you are still currently studying and you're over the age of 30 years old, we will just deal with you guys on a case-by-case basis. You must have a valid passport. So we predominantly work with South Africans and Namibians. However, if you are not a South African or Namibian national, you'll just need to state to your OVC consultant what your nationality is, so then we can go back and see what the visa risks are for you guys. Okay, then the blue section is the main thing we look for, all right? So you must be a current student, or for example, because our internship fees are quite high, let's say you graduate in 2025, but you only apply in 2027, then you will need your qualification and 1 year's work experience in the field. However, if you're a recent graduate within 1 year of your graduation, you still qualify, you won't need the work experience. Then we get some of our candidates who have never studied in hospitality or tourism, but they have 5 years work experience. That still qualifies as long as you have valid references for where you've worked, culinary, pastry, front desk, things like that. There are a little bit of T's and C's when it comes to work experience. So in terms of hospitality experience, if you work in places like KFC, McDonald's, Steers, anything like fast food related, unfortunately, that for our partners does not count as formal work experience, okay? Needs to be in a hotel, a restaurant, resort, any establishment where clients come in and sit down, that 100% qualifies, okay? The internship positions that we recruit in, so predominantly across the board, we have culinary and pastry. If some of you have experience or qualifications in culinary and pastry, you can do both, or you can just pick one or the other. We also recruit in front office, so usually that is for our candidates that study tourism management, hospitality management, where they don't major in culinary or pastry or food and beverage, all right? Even if you have 5 years work experience in hotels, resorts, restaurants, stuff like that in front of house that can qualify. And then we also have food and beverage as a position. So some of you have experience, well, work experience as being a waiter or a waitress. That counts. Some of you have studied food and beverage, so hospitality management, specializing in food and beverage. That counts. Okay. Moving on to the internship length. Your internship is 12 full months, so you cannot go less than 1 year. However, you cannot stay longer on your internship more than 1 year. So what happens is you go work for 12 months, but however, your visa is valid for 30 days after the 12 months, meaning with all the money you've made on your internship, you can take a few days, a few weeks, or 29 days to travel around the United States at your expense before you come home. By that 30th day, after the 12 months, you do need to get on a plane and come home. Guys, please do not use this internship as a stepping stone to live or immigrate to a new country. It is an internship. You are not allowed to stay longer than what your internship length is stated, or else your visa will formally be finished. All right, so it won't be valid anymore, and then you will be considered an illegal immigrant in the United States. And if any of you have seen anything, I'm pretty sure Donald Trump does not like illegal immigrants. So just make sure you work on your internship for the 12 months when you are legal. Okay. So we have partnered with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of resorts and hotels for you guys to go work at. So you do pay a lot of money to go on the internship. This is why we only place you in 4 to 5 star resorts, hotels, and restaurants. At the end of your internship, that resort and hotel will go on your reference as an international work reference. So it's really, really nice for you to go, come back, and you have that 5 star quality reference on your CV, guys. Okay. You can be placed with friends. So on your internship, you are going to need to budget for monthly expenses like you would with any job. So your rent, your groceries, your utilities, your transport, things like that. If you are placed with a friend, it's nice because then you guys can kind of half the monthly expenses with each other. So you can go half on rent, half on groceries, half on transport. So that is a really nice feature as well. Then we have many styles you can be placed in. So we have corporate, leisure, destination, family, golf, beach, and more. It's completely up to you guys and the type of style you want to work in. So if you come to your overseas consultant and you say, right, I want to work at a beach resort in the United States, we can find you one. Predominantly like Hawaii and all those other fancy places, but you can work in those styles. Moving on to getting hired. So the number one thing our partners and host companies look for, guys, and I'm not joking, is your attitude, okay? You need to have the right attitude when you interview with host companies. You need to be energetic about interviewing with them and wanting to work for them. You need to be enthusiastic about working in the hospitality industry. If you guys are none of the above, then I think you're in the wrong industry, okay? You do need to be independent. However, the internship also does teach you how to gain independence. So to live on your own in a foreign country, to work on your own in a foreign country, it is doable, okay? But it will teach you how to do or however to be independent, okay? Communication and teamwork, guys, go hand in hand, especially in the hospitality industry. For example, if you're a chef, you know what it's like working in teams in the kitchen. You know how to communicate properly so that everybody's on the same page. Punctuality is very, very, very key, okay? Although you pay to go on the internship and you do pay a lot of money, just like any other job out there, if you are constantly late for work, you'll get fired, okay? So please, guys, make sure you are on time for your workplace, okay? Although it is an internship, it's also a cultural awareness program, and you will be our country's ambassador. So not only are you going there to learn about American culture, learn about Americans' hospitality industry, learn new dishes or cuisines or things like that, you're also going there to educate them about yours. So whether you're Namibian, South African, Zimbabwean, go educate them about ours as well. Not only are you representing South Africa or your home country as a whole, if you are a graduate from a hospitality institution, you are also representing your institute. So go do your best on your internship, guys. I do follow up with you when you're on your program, and I do give feedback to obviously where you studied and that you're doing a great job. All right. The bonus is if you guys have any work experience. So regardless if during your studies you had to do work integrated learning or your practicals or stuff like that where you weren't paid, you just had to do it in order to complete your qualification, that counts as work experience. Okay, so add that in your CV when you apply for the internship. Any other work experience that you have in the field does count as a bonus. However, if you're a current student, you have no work experience, we're not saying you won't get hired. It's just a bonus at the end of the day. Your internship life roughly looks like this across the board for everyone. So you work roughly about 32 to 40 hours in a week. Remember, each resort, hotel, or host company are different, and they do have set hours that you work along with set pay rates. So across the board, what I've seen is about 32 hours in a week. Highest I've seen is about 40 hours in a week, okay? When you interview with companies, guys, please don't try and negotiate your hours. Those are the set hours that you're going to be working for, given to you by the company. Okay, so that's non-negotiable. You get what we call a training phase. So I like to refer to this as kind of similar to your what is it called? Your work contract, what you're going to be doing on your internship. What your training phase is, it basically outlines every single phase you're going to do on your internship. So if 1 month you're focusing on hot kitchens, month 2 you're focusing on cold kitchens, that is all outlined in your training phase. And you get that before you even get on the plane to go to the US. Okay. Although you're going on an internship and you're going to go work and you're going to go have a good time and experience America, America does have a lot of public holidays. You do get a lot of off time. So we do encourage you guys to go out, meet new people, network, try their restaurants, try their theme parks. Just go out and explore. Okay. The pay rate does vary for each and every applicant according to your experience, your qualification, and the resort or host company itself. So minimum salary we usually see is 11 US dollars an hour. Highest I've seen is 25. So what happens is when we get the positions list, when you apply for the program, you'll be able to see where the resort is or hotel, what the name of it is, the hours you work, and the pay rate. So you can request to interview with them, or vice versa, they will request to interview with you. Okay. You do get assessed on your internship. It's an internship at the end of the day. So if you're lacking in certain areas, they are going to tell you and they're going to help you improve in those areas. And then if you excel and do really, really well in certain areas, they can reward you. Okay. We have a Pretoria client. He came back, I think, about in 2023. His name's David. David did so well on his American internship. He actually received Employee of the Month certificate, validated by the resort and hotel that he worked at, and that he can also include in his CV. Moving on to your living expenses while you're on your internship in the United States. So, like I said, monthly groceries. However, when you're on your program, during working hours, if you're working like a breakfast and a lunch shift, most host companies will provide you with on-duty meals, okay? So your monthly groceries is any snacks you want at home or any other food to get you through the month, okay? Transport, you're going to need to budget transport to and from work. Guys, any other job out there, you're going to make a plan to get to work on your own. Same thing about the internship. Your monthly utilities along with your housing. So we do give you options for housing, virtual tours, photos, walking distance, bicycle ride, bus ride from your workplace. You will need to choose where you want to live in the United States. And before you get on the airplane to leave here, you will need to put your deposit down for your rent because part of our contract, we do not let you guys arrive in the United States without having any housing. Okay, we don't want you guys to live on the streets. Tax is compulsory for you to pay on your program, but guys, please don't worry. They're not going to keep taking your money from you all the time. When you're done with your program and you arrive back in your home country, we do work with an international tax company called Sprint Tax. You are welcome to get your OVC consultant to get you in touch with them, and you can claim your tax back. Okay, so just for that 1 year, you're going to pay tax. When you come back, you can claim your tax back. The program fee, I will explain when we get to the costs of the program because some people do get confused, but I will explain it in detail for you guys. How you get supported on your internship. So, your international travel insurance is completely free to you guys. So what that means is if on any point on your internship you are admitted into hospital, so whether you're a chef and you cut off a finger, it happens, whether you're in a car accident, or you get a major life-threatening illness, any of those ones that you need to be admitted into hospital, your full hospital bills are paid for. That is a nice safety feature. So you guys don't need to worry if anything goes wrong on your internship and you're admitted into hospital, that you will need to pay for your hospital bills. Okay. Moving on to your monthly service check-in and the visa assistance. So that is our job. So with the visa, we help you with the visa process. Okay. We will help fill in your online visa application. We will submit it to the embassy and we will book your visa appointment. We help you with your monthly service documents as well. So in order to be in a country for a specific period of time and legally work there, you need a visa and a service document. So monthly service check-ins are compulsory, and we really, really urge you guys to do this because what the monthly service check-in means is that you are basically telling the Department of State, the US government, that you are still legally working on your internship and that you haven't abandoned it or evaded your internship, and now you're an illegal immigrant in their country. Okay. We do monitor the check-ins that have been missed. We do reach out and warn you. If we can't get through to you, we warn your family members to tell you, because if you miss a certain amount of check-ins, they will terminate your internship along with your visa. There you are on a plane all the way back home. Okay. When it comes to housing and host companies, our partners source and screen all the options for you. So with housing, we make sure it's safe, secure and hygienic for you guys to live in on your program, and that it's not too far away from your workplace. Host companies, that's our partner's job. So they make sure that all host companies part of our agency obviously are legal to work for, they're registered, they're up to standard, they're 5-star quality. So you don't need to worry about that. Plus, you also get cultural activities arranged for you on your program. So they'll do cook-off days, they'll do sightseeing days. All these cool things are free to you guys on your program. And you will have contact details from our partners in the country. So if anything goes wrong, you report to them. I mean, you can always report it to OVC. However, it does get a little difficult. Guys, remember the time zones are different. So if you have an issue at 5 o'clock in the morning, South Africans are most likely sleeping, and so are OVC. So it's nice to have someone in the country with you that's there to support you. Moving on to the application process. So first, how you do it, you will register with OVC and your OVC consultant, and you'll complete the online application for the internship. Then your application gets checked by Robin, the program manager, and when she's happy with it, we then put you forward for interviewing with host companies. Then you interview until you get hired, all right? When you get hired for your internship, that is when OVC will start assisting you with your visa process, and then we will book your visa appointment for you. We do a final briefing with you as well before your visa appointment. So there's a long list of documents you need to take. We have a checklist and we make sure you have every single document that you need. And we give you instructions on where to go in the building, what times to be there, everything regarding your visa appointment. You attend your visa appointment and then boom, all of you will be approved. All of you will get a yellow piece of paper. None of you will get the red one. The red one's bad. All right. And then when your visa is approved on the day, you will know within 5 to 10 minutes. And then when your visa is approved, they take your passport and they tell you to go away. Please don't be worried. They are not stealing your visa or your passport. They need to keep your passport in at the embassy so they can print your visa in it. We will get a notification when your visa is ready. If you're near Joburg, you're welcome to go collect it when we tell you. If you're far away, we do have an additional fee of, I think it's 315 Rand. We can courier your visa and your passport directly to you. That's like if you live in Limpopo, Mpumalanga, or anywhere far away. And then when your visa is ready, we book your flights and you leave to the United States. So from the time you register and complete your online application to the day you get on a plane can be anywhere between 3 to 6 months. Okay. Running through the fees for you guys. So got to listen closely, all right? Because it does get confusing if you don't listen. So first you will pay your application fee, okay, which is 9950. That's when you start registering and complete your full online application. And then we submit that. Then when you interview with companies and you get hired, okay, the program fee in full is 2,400 US dollars. So if you're going to take, for example, the 9950, the 2,400 US dollars, the visa and service fee, your flight fee, and your spending money, your internship is not 70,000 Rand, guys. Okay, it's a lot more than 70,000 Rand. However, we know, for example, no one has 100,000 Rand lying around. So we've given you this option. Okay, so you still pay the 9950. And then we call it the deferred program fee, which is what you can see here on the side. So you can pay, once you're hired by a company, you pay 800 US dollars in your home country, South Africa, Namibia, Zimbabwe. And then when you are on your internship, okay, you have 8 months to pay back that remaining balance, which is 1,600 US dollars, to make up the full 2,400. So you pay 800 in South Africa. Your visa fee is 185 US dollars. Your service fee is $200. Your flights vary anywhere between 10 to 20,000 Rand. We book you the cheapest flight we can. And then you take your spending money with you, which is 1,000 to 1,500 US dollars. So if you go with the 800 deferred program fee, plus your application fee, visa, service, flights, and spending money, you're looking at about 70,000. Guys, please don't actually keep that figure in your head. It can be more, it can be less. Only reason why I say that, some of our fees are in US dollars and the exchange rate changes on a daily basis. But overall, you're looking at about 70,000 Rand. So you can choose if you want to pay the 2,400 US dollars in full, and then you don't owe anything on your internship, or cheaper option, you pay 800 US dollars in South Africa. You have 8 months to pay back the remaining balance of 1,600. Why do you need to take spending money? In case you need to buy any essentials, even if you have a layover flight on the way to the States and you need to buy something, or groceries, rent, utilities, and transport before your first salary. Nice thing with America, they pay you every 2 weeks. So your spending money is to get you through the initial 2 week period before you get your first salary. Okay. Guys, please do go out, check out our social media. We have lots of testimonials coming in from our clients. So make sure you go check that out. Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. You can ask your OVC consultant if you want the formal link to our social media. We can provide that to you. Moving on to our OVC offices. We have offices everywhere, guys. Okay, so we have Limpopo, Mpumalanga, Joburg, Pretoria, Durban, Durban North, Pietermaritzburg, Free State, Northern Cape, the whole of the Eastern Cape, Northwest, Cape Town, Kenilworth, Stellenbosch, George, and Namibia. Moving on, just to give you guys a quick little intro to our franchise owners. If you live in the Eastern Cape or Stellenbosch and George, you guys will deal with Santa. She's here in the corner. If you're based in Cape Town, you'll deal with Amanda. If you're based in Cape Town towards Kenilworth and lower part of Cape Town, you'll deal with Janine. And then Robin is our program manager. Philippa and Anthea over here are our Pietermaritzburg owners. Selena is our Durban and South Coast franchise owner. Mariska is our Durban and North Coast franchise owner. Clarissa does Bloemfontein and Northern Cape. Madeline is also there to assist if you are based in the Durban North and North Coast area. Moving on, you guys can see me in the corner. I'm one of the marketers. I market for Mpumalanga, Northwest, and Namibia. Christy is our Gauteng and Limpopo marketer. He mentioned he's our KwaZulu-Natal marketer. And then at the bottom here are our consultants and our admin girls. So now you got to meet everyone virtually, so you'll know who you guys will be dealing with. And then I just wanted to say thank you guys for joining me today. And I hope to see your guys' applications come in very, very soon. I do just have one more announcement. Guys, please make sure you speak to your OVC consultant. We have a hiring fair. You guys are the first to know. We have a hiring fair, another one, coming up in September and one in October. October, our partners, the Ritz-Carlton, beautiful hotel to work for, are coming to hire in person, mainly culinary. And then in September, we have our Middle East and Asia partners coming. Woo! So if you want to work in the Middle East and Asia, they are coming as well.